I question that theory.
Zachary K. Hubbard death threatens chaotic truth and his audience.
My question that theory.
We don't like what the raccoon does. If it was the Wild West, we'd throw the raccoon and his audience in a wood chipper. That's why BD.
If it was the Wild West, we'd throw the raccoon and his audience in a wood chipper. That's why BD.
If it was the Wild West, we'd throw the raccoon and his audience in a wood chipper. That's why BD. If it was the Wild West, we'd throw the raccoon and his audience in a wood chipper. That's why BD. If the big tit bimbo is out there watching, the new president is age 57.
I know that you're gay.
Bro, you're gay.
For you to be 42 years old and just say that about a woman on the internet who was nothing but respectful to you and did that for free. You're a bitch, and what you don't like big tits. You know how gay you sound. Yeah, a grown man making fun of a woman's breasts on the internet. That's actually gay, buddy.
Geometry. They're so good at math in school, but you show them this, and it's like, huh? What? What do you mean? What do you mean that equals 33? What the fuck is that? It's like, are you fucking retarded?
Geometry. They're so good at math in school, but you show them this, and it's like, huh? What? What do you mean that equals 33? What the fuck is that? It's like, are you fucking retarded?
No, are you? You're saying that with an infant in Zach's arms. I would have blocked you and tell you to watch your mouth if I had my kid. Next Geometry has a system of rules and proven measurements with factual logic base. As you can see in this image, your Gematria has no formula or logic. You're the fucking retard. This community is so lost it's despicable. Threaten chaotic truth and his panel. Making fun of mooncakes because of her breasts. Bunch of gay boys who do nothing but dry snatch up all day. Is what it sounds like.
K. Hubbard, it's time. Time to quit. You have no purpose in this world. I think the society is really? You're a horrible human being. I think you're the same recommendation. Suicide. Suicide. You're a horrible human being. You're a horrible human being. And I'm not wrong to say.
All right. Yeah, so any Gematrians can come on, call in on CM's panel last night. It was his first live. We debunked you guys. I mean, it was the most brutal beatdown of debunking Gematria probably in the history of the world. I mean, Gematria got so debunked that my avatar right here debunks Gematria. Yo, what's up, Cuts? Yeah, you see that short I just made? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Zach just threatened all you chaotic supporters. He just said that you guys need to go on a wood chipper. $201, no parole, bury him under the prison. Yeah, last night's stream was pretty outstanding. I'm surprised Zach went live and he didn't mention anything. I don't even know if he knows about it or he doesn't want anybody to go over there and listen to it, and that's probably more of the case because it was the most brutal beatdown of Gematria. I mean, we destroyed you guys. I mean, it was just destruction. The Gematria temple burned down. It just burned. It just completely got eradicated. Confirmed CIA show, yeah. Zachary threatened Donald Trump's life and didn't even get a strike. Right? What's up with that? No. Oh, no. Well, just like Tone was saying, he's like, yeah, he definitely doesn't want the Badger. Because I mean, if you've heard, like, this is the first 45 minutes. Right there, CM, I convinced him in less than an hour. Like, whoa, like, because you can't debunk the Gematrian definitions. You can only debunk Gematria with numbers because that's what they resonate with. That's why I use that. I don't do the definition with them because it's not going to resonate with them. They resonate with numbers. Gematria is 100% psyop. Yes. Zachary is a grifter. Yes, he's technically a grifter, a charlatan, and a shill, all by dictionary definitions. Yes, and he has a baby in the house, and he's very, very, very mentally ill. And if you guys want to help that baby, we gotta report him. Just keep reporting his channel. Snake oil, yep. You know, I'm only gonna probably do this for an hour because I'm getting ready here. I'm doing some stuff and I'm about to eat a little lunch, and then so. Is there a Gematrian that can debunk what? I mean, is there a Gematrian that can actually, like, testify their Gematria against me? I'll give you my PS5. If you can convince me that Gematria is a bullshit. Well, your Gematria, the English Gematria, or what you guys consider Gematria, English based. Dude, we should just send Zach to Venezuela. Just send him over there. Just deport him. Deport him right to Venezuela. Excuse me. I gotta fold some laundry up right now. Deport the Hubbard. You see how he just does not. He shuts me down so quick in cuts. He never lets us on. He never lets us debate. Never lets us speak. But here, if he came on here, we would let him speak. We would let him debate. We would let him talk. We wouldn't block him or nothing. No, it's funny. I never blocked Zach. Ever. Isn't that funny? I never, ever, ever blocked Zach. But he blocks cuts. He blocks me. That should tell you everything you need to know. Shit, I can't have anybody fucking... They figured out my scam. I just wish we figured it out sooner. But his last stream didn't get a lot of views, so it's just telling me he's getting out of the algorithm again, and we just gotta keep pressing on that light. We still gotta keep mentioning, like, no, Gematria is Hebrew based. This is the scientific formula of Gematria, and how it was used. It's not used. They don't use it like that. The Gematrians. Zachary compared the news today to the birthdays of Trump, the Black Pope, and I hate the little dollar sign down there. I can't see. And Pan Bondi, that's it. I mean, while they're doing the psyop with the Venezuela thing, why isn't he going into, like, the House of Representatives website or Congress.gov or whatever it is and looking to see if they're trying to pass some arbitrary bullshit on us? See if they're passing some AI shit, or like what the states are doing and passing new AI laws and stuff. He doesn't do any of that. He just goes right into this the garbage. Like, See the headline, and then this Dakota headline. See, it's 56. 56 years old. So that doesn't mean anything. What a fucking piece of shit. Literally means nothing. Nope. No, yeah. That's a good point, YouTube frauds. He has never debated a Jesuit. No, I guess he did. He debated questions to ponder. Apparently, she's Jesuit educated, and like she shut him down real fast. I mean, he literally just shut the fuck up. So he debated one. It was on CT stream. Might have been a little over a week ago. Apparently, she's Jesuit educated. This big tit. Yeah, like what kind of dude makes fun of a girl's tits? I mean, what, you don't like big tits or something? And I mean, I'm not insulting Mooncakes. I think she's a very nice young, she's not that much younger than me, but she's one. I wouldn't even classify them as being big, to be honest. No, it's not big. I mean, I shouldn't be on here talking about another woman's cans, but trust me, I've had some big ones. And hers are, I would just say, like average, maybe a little bit above average. They're not that big. Like what? Because Sweet Lady's got little fucking A-cup boy tits. Is that why, Zach? You like them flat chested bitches, don't you? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hate even mentioning another woman's fucking thing, but I'm just speaking as a man. Like, seriously, you're gonna go live. This woman was just nice the whole time. She was nice to him pretty much the whole time, and I could tell she was getting irritated with him because he was being such an asshole. You can go to my live streams last night, and I mean, seriously, man, she gave her time and day. You didn't give her any money. You got super chats and ad revenue, and you gave her no money out of that. You're a fucking scumbag, dude. And since, yeah, I mean, every time you dox me or that's money that needs to be put into my pocket. You're using me and getting money and putting my shit out like that. I deserve compensation. But at the same time, I haven't lived at that. It's just, dude, the frauds. Man, you guys are so stupid, man. I mean, they put out my Kiwani address, which I haven't lived in years. I used that address for my car insurance because comparatively where I was living, I was paying like $300 more a month, so I just gave them an address that I used to have, and it went down like $300 my car insurance. I mean, you guys are dumb. So, I mean, is anybody going to do the debate? Or are we going to do this? See, none of the Gematrians will debate me. None of them. They don't want it. They will not ever do it. CM is the only one, and he's not even like a full. He wasn't even a full blown Gematrian. He was like more on the spiritual side of the Gematria the whole time. And I think he saw, like, he just didn't see how the English Gematrian community was, because he just wasn't as involved. And then he's like, oh shit, yeah, I mean, these guys are fucking crazy. Well, yeah, but it hurts their views. That's all I care about. Destroying the Gematria channel. That's all I care about. Yeah, he wants distractions, divisions, and he only would debate people who literally have no education on the topic at all. No one that studied it. Because then he can just claim, I guess we can agree to disagree, or I win the debate.
Zach wins! Yay! We're all a bunch of Zach cocksuckers, everybody! Buy the Gematria! Buy it or die! My name is Chicken Guy, yes!
Dude, and all the fraud and like I said, sorry, I am folding some laundry. All the fraud and the doxing and stuff, yeah, I mean, that hurts your channel, you stupid fucking idiot. Because people are like, I mean, I don't want to fuck with these motherfuckers. I don't want to get doxed. So you know what they do? They go find another Gematria channel. So at the same time, I'm like, well, I guess they can just keep doxing me because I can get videos taken down of Hubbard, and they don't actually have my address. So, they're using old addresses. Karma's gonna hit him someday soon. I don't think. Yeah, I know it. He will be erased. I mean, dude, it's gonna happen. I've already sent emails to Sweet Doy Boy's freaking coworkers. So once her coworkers, if they watch any of that, they're gonna be like, is this your husband? He's a nut job. I know how people in the healthcare field think, especially women. Women, like, that's how they're gonna be. They're gonna. Yeah, RIP the Bart, freaking calling out the quack. And just burned his hat, threw it on the fucking ground. Sorry, Bart, that they frauded you and just snitchered the fat freaking flop of Gematria. Fucking did some necromancy, weird shit. That's some fucked up shit, man. No. Trust me, YouTube frauds. I know how healthcare people think. They're definitely not doing it. A lot of healthcare people, they're not big into gambling. And they're women. And you know what women are going to do? They're going to watch that. They're going to think he's a creep weirdo. Especially if they watched the last video. And then they're going to talk behind Doy's back and be like, oh, hey, did you see that video? Doy's husband is a freaking weirdo. Did you see that? Did you, like, yeah. Oh, there she is. Shh. That's how women, well, that's just how a lot of women are. They're like that. They're very gossipy. All it takes is one woman to watch that, and the whole clinic is going to know. That's it. They're all going to know. And they're all going to whisper, and they're all going to create rumors. Because I know how these people think. And then it's going to create an animosity in the workplace with her and her coworkers. And it's going to stress her out. And then she's going to fucking get on the Hubbard and stress him out. And then he's going to fuck up. Why does Sports Gematria just come out with... NFL 4 picks plus notes. Notes on 10/4/2020. What the fuck? That's the thing. I don't think it's gonna happen. YouTube frauds. We said it last night. He might actually be an actual op. And I didn't think he was. I thought he's just some kind of fucking bitch. But after yeah, I know he does. After what CM and them said the cuts last night about when Zach called the cops on him. Because I've already tried to do that and nothing happened. So it's like, well, maybe Zach has more pull than I think he does. He might be more than I think he is, and that does kind of worry me a little bit. But we can't let that deter us because even he can't even be above the law. I mean, we just got to keep pushing and trying and getting more and more evidence. Cuts. You gotta stop bringing up Ruby, dude. You just gotta leave that little baby alone. Oh yeah, and then Zach had a caller while he's holding Ruby, and the guy's like, "Well, you don't understand 33? You retarded." I mean, seriously, you're cussing and shit in front, like right next, and the baby can hear you. I mean, dude. I believe she's got to be a little over 1 year old, so that means like that's when they start learning how to talk and shit. Like they'll start mimicking what you're saying. Like, oh yeah, that's a good video to send to Doy. Hey, Doy Boo, do you know Zach's like holding your kid and having people cuss and stuff in front of your baby on the internet? I mean, just imagine like a mother, like if I did that, my baby mama would fucking be mad as fuck. I would be mad. I mean, I put it in the short, so if you want to go to my most recent short and listen, it's pretty funny. It's not very long. It's a short. It's about 3 minutes. Basics. Yep. I just watched another SG video, the one where he's got the image of Zach as like a McDonald's manager or something. That one's pretty funny. Yeah, SG needs to get on it more, man. I don't know if you listen to any of my videos anymore, but you need to get your ass fucking back on that motherfucker, dude. Because I can't do the Patreon shit. I can't fucking stand it. I can't listen to it. I mean, it's so like, it's like, oh my god. I never fell for it. I just hate, the only thing I hate is I thought this guy actually had a legit mission. But he didn't, obviously. So what, no Gematrians? We're not going to get a Gematrian? They'll never come in here. None of them will ever come up on here. Well, I debated the Snitchard one time. And he had no answers. Just tiptoed around, deflected, and I'm like, stop deflecting and answer the fucking question. Where are the 4 ciphers from? Where did you find them? If you can't answer that, then your shit is garbage. The Colt, yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that CM sees the truth now. He didn't see it because he probably wasn't looking, or like just wasn't aware because he was just more focused on the knowledge part of things, which is fine. I get it. That's how I was. I didn't really pay attention too much. I would just focus on the knowledge part. on the information, and then he heard what Cuts and I had to say. Like, they blew their minds last night. I mean, they were just mind blown. We blew their minds, Cuts. Like, and CM had a decent amount. He had about what you get in a stream. He had about 140 views. And my guess is that Zach did watch it. Because anytime we get views within 150, usually that's when he goes over there and all the bot crawlers fucking follow him. And he probably watched some of it. And he's just like, shit, yeah, I'm not even going to say nothing about it. Because if I say something, people, especially CM, because CM's pretty known over there on CT, and so are you, Cuts and Tone. And CT promoted it. But I mean, I don't want to. There's hardly any reason now to really even debunk the Gematria. CM's video last night is pretty much the nail that just finished up the coffin. I mean that stream last night, it's over. It's done. Gematria is done because of last night's stream. It's dead. Anybody goes and listens to that full stream, really, you just need to listen to the first 2 hours of it. It's done. It's over. It's dead. You're not going to sit here. I mean, you sit here and you try to convince yourself the things that I shown and what Cut's shown and said. It's done. It's done. It's over. You're just fooling yourself. You're I do hate that I spent most of my day on that shit like yesterday, but I guess it was just needed. I guess it was. We're almost done, guys. I hate laundry day. I hate laundry day. You know, I'd rather talk about other shit, but I mean, CM's willing to like get this guy taken down. He's like, no, fuck this guy. And then we showed him the video of Zach getting beat up by Adipa. That shit was funny for saying the N-word. 42 is the N-word. Like, people think that's racist, dude. Like, because it is. It's just like, dude, you're demeaning. One, you're using a word that already demeans black people. It really demeans anybody that gets called the N-word, but you know, it always used to be more towards black people. And then, like, you know, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're fucking racist," and then they're gonna beat your ass. And they were very nice. They're lucky. None of them guys freaking just started pounding freaking Zach's dome into the fucking sidewalk. I mean, he should be happy he got bear maced. I mean, I think getting bear maced is pretty fucking funny though. Like, that shit sucks. That shit probably burned. And then his stupid ass puts water. I mean, dude, you're a dumb motherfucker, dude. What a dumb motherfucker. Anybody with fucking a brain knows to neutralize it. You need to put baking soda in there. You need to learn how acids and bases work. I mean, this is why you don't believe in the Hubbard. Don't listen to the Hubbard, because the Hubbard doesn't know shit about shit. Oh. Dude, I've known that since fucking middle school. When I took chemistry, I took middle school chemistry, high school, and college chemistry. You're a fucking stupid bitch. Like, I can go in depth of what the methylization of quaxines are. All right. Shoot, I don't even know what to eat right now. I just need a little food. I gotta go grocery shopping. I just need a little food. I don't know. I don't really have anything. I guess, yeah, I'll just have yogurt here. That actually sounds kind of good. The methylization of quaxines. So, and yep, that's what the doy. Hey, doy, doy. Hey, doy, doy, doy. You know what really made me mad? Whoops. What really made me mad is the video where you hear, "Oh, yay, Trusa Sika! Thank you for the shekels. Congrats to the truthers." And then Zach goes, "She meant congrats to the winners." I need to find that video. Nat told me she's in on this shit. That's like, yep, she's in on it. So, yeah, right, the Matrix is kind of mad at me in cuts for that. But I don't care. You're in on it, bitch. You're free game now. Gematrians, come on, let's pull up. Pull up. There's gotta be Gematrian. I don't care what kind of Gematrian you are. Unless you're TD&E, you can come in here. Oh, YouTube frauds. You know, that's Cut's homie, bro. I like how he goes into like the Black Laws Dictionary and stuff like that. Is that true? Cuts, is that true? Is he still friends with freaking Richard fucking Quinn? The cuck of Gematria? No. I don't think he's still friends with that guy. I don't think he's still friends with that guy. There's no way. Not after all that fucking garbage. There's no way he's still friends with that guy. That would be that would be weird. God. I'm not even sick because I'm not achy. I don't have a sore throat. I don't have a cough. I'm just like always stuffed up. It sucks. Ugh. Damn. Laying it in on the air, right? He's not bad like a Gematrian though. So. The Gematrians are the worst people on the planet. Well, he does say like it's better to learn how to do like a trade than learning fucking trash with Gematria. So I can agree with him on that. I mean his stuff on like legality, especially like baby mama stuff. He kind of helped me with that because I have a baby mama situation. Stayed up late last night, so I'm kind of dragging. Ugh. I kind of wish he would help get rid of the quack. Yeah, he hasn't gone live in a while. I think Wise this came up with a video. Wise comes up with some. I like Wise. I think Wise is pretty chill. Wise has some good original stuff, and he does clown the Gematria. Directly clowns it. That's pretty funny. I like that. Anybody that clowns the Gematria, you're already pretty much A-okay in my book. Again. Sorry, I gotta brush my teeth real quick. I'm kind of slow this morning because I stayed up really late last night with CM. And definitely go back to that stream. I haven't done a book club thing. I kind of like that though because I need to get back into reading books again. I kind of stopped reading books. I think I only read like 2 books last year. I gotta get back into it. Yeah, I'll do like more like a man circle, and then like that can be one topic per week. No Harry Potter shit, or like actually Lord of the Rings will be good, but not Harry Potter or something weird like that. Damn, you two frogs. You two frogs laying in here, right? Type shit. Sorry, I stayed up way too late. Yeah. Same here. I tried to stay up late. Wait, I tried to sleep in, but fuck it, it's hard. I'm programmed. Margaret, I'm like, Margaret trying to get ready later than I really would hope, but whatever. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Damn. Yeah, no, you guys kept going. I fell asleep listening to you guys last night. By the way, a little off topic, dude wipes. Fucking dude wipes are shit. Fuck toilet paper, dude wipes, man. Dude wipes is next level. Never ever befriend a quack unless you want to get frauded. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you just present what I said last night, anybody that's FBA, anybody that's a Blat or a YN, they're gonna see right through it. I mean, I guarantee you, someone like even Jay with open eyes, if he heard everything I said on CM's thing last night, he would snap out of it. I guarantee it. Most Gematrians would snap out of it with everything I presented last night. The only ones that won't are like the Hubbard dick suckers, the Snitchards and the TD&Es. Yeah, right, the Fat Tank and Daria and Crackhead Code. Those are the only ones. Those are the only ones that, I mean, they'll die. They'll drink the quack aid They'll drink the Quackade, and they'll be like, "I would love you, Zachary Hubbard. We'll drink it to our death." They'll do it too. All of them. But I think CM's gonna cook him. I think CM's gonna cook the Quack. He's gonna fucking roast him and toast him. And that's gonna be good because a big majority of Zach's following are black people. So you get a black guy to get up on there and debunk the Gematria. A lot of them are gonna fucking be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, this white dude's a fraud." Yeah, no, it's fucking weird as fuck. Yeah, keep the pressure on Zach. I mean, just keep reporting his videos, keep thumbs downing his stuff, just gotta keep up with that because it does push him a little bit out of his algorithm. And I'm guilty. I forget to do it a lot. Just because I end up getting busy and I just don't have the time. But if you guys just keep pressing on, just don't let him gain any momentum. I mean, he's trying hard to get back up to 10,000 views, and he was getting closer until today. So this is his lowest viewed video in a while. So we gotta keep pressing on. We gotta keep reporting the videos. Keep thumbs downing it. Keep clowning these people. Keep exposing it. Actually, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. Fuck it. I don't really drink coffee that much, but I kind of want it. I don't know. I'm kind of craving it. It's actually apparently good for your scalp to wash your hair with after you put coffee. It's stimulates your hair growth. So kind of a weird fact, I guess you can say. Weird fact of the day. But this organic morning blend I got is pretty good. I don't even drink it with cream or nothing. I just drink it straight up black. Just like how I like my women. No, I'm just fucking around. No, I'm not really fucking around. I like my coffee how I like my women. I'm just I do have my internet personality. It is the Badger, and the Badger is very I don't know if you guys have ever seen Deadpool, but I got this a very Deadpool-like personality. Ace Ventura type of personality. God, I kind of hate this freaking Keurig, though. I'm not gonna lie. Cult of Jesuit Haters. I should make a song called Jesuit Hater. That's actually a good title for a song, Jesuit Hater. I don't know what kind of black shit you're hanging out with. I don't know. Some do have a smell, though. I kind of know what you're talking about, but that's a very specific smell, you two brats. It depends on they put a certain type of grease in their hair, and if it's a coconut based grease to keep their hair from getting too frizzy. It might have, depending on the scent, some of them I can't remember the brand that they like to use. I can I could see it in my head, the picture, but I can't think of the brand name. I could see that maybe sound like what you just said, actually. Yeah, cocoa butter, probably with other scents. Yeah, that way their hair doesn't get all frizzed up. So yeah, they put a lot. This girl I'm kind of seeing right now always has some kind of product in her hair. My BM puts stuff like that in my son's hair. So, and I do it too. I do it too just because, like, it's part of his routine now. So I cannot not do it. Sorry, doing dishes. Doing some dishes. About to see. Well, 15 more minutes. Are we gonna get a debate or what? Are we gonna have a discussion, or the Gematrians just gonna freaking be a bunch of pussies? Don't answer that question. It's rhetorical. Bunch of cowards. The biggest coward community there is, but they're over here like, yeah, we're gonna put if it was the Wild West, we'll put CT and his panel on in the wood chipper. You fucking piece of shit. You ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, Ashy, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to get ashy either, to be honest. Like, when I get really tan in the summertime, I get ashy. So I'm Italian, so I do have a little, I got a little black in me, not a whole lot, but very little bit. Probably like 3%, 5%. What do I want for dinner? Pub style battered cod sounds pretty good. No, I got some shepherd's pie. I'm gonna have that. I'll have shepherd's pie tonight for dinner. Those are the biggest fears. Oh, yeah. Damn, I went out on New Year's. I don't fucking remember the dairy calendar of New Year's. I'm kind of mad because wherever I was, I left my jacket and my heated gloves. So I'm kind of pissed. Oh. Because, I mean, I love heated gloves, especially because I work outside a lot. My God, that shit's fucking... It must be crazy because I just brushed my teeth and now I just fucking... I just brushed my teeth and now now I'm drinking coffee. It's fucking crazy. What the fuck is wrong with me? I don't celebrate any holidays. Oh, I think I got family that came from parts of Sicily and Florence. In those areas. A little Scandinavian, a little Greek, French. I probably do have a very little bit of Irish or English or something in me too. I'm sure. Yeah, Zach hates Italians. He does not like Italians. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure he got like. I think he got abused by like a priest or something, or like a whatever they call those Protestant ones. I can't remember. Like the Protestant priests. I think it starts with like a P. I can't think of it right now. What the fuck? Well, I guess yeah, like a Lutheran version of a priest. What are they called? Yeah, I mean, we're all mutts. Yeah, Homo sapiens is a mutt. It's just like, it was just like a bunch of different human hominins, like Cro-Magnon and Neanderthals and shit, and they all fucking went to war, got together, had some sex, and then they did that for hundreds of thousands of years, and then those human hominins went to war, got together, had sex, and made more hybrids, and then here we are. We're just one big fucking mutt. Like, literally, Homo sapien is just a fucking mutt. I only really like the name of how they have, because I would say we're heterosapien, because Homo means same, and we're just not. We're all like, as like a human hominin species, we're just engraved in so many different genes of different human hominins, tons of different ones. So I don't know. I don't really like the name Homo sapien, not because of the gay shit, but because of Homo just means same, and we're definitely not same. We're definitely. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're all DNA related up to 98%, but when it comes to like our genetic makeup, I mean, we have so many different genes in us, different cultures, different, you know, different everything. So it's just like, why are we calling ourselves Homo sapien? Hetero means different. Who's this that's trying to get in here? What's
Hello.
up, Heavy? How's it going, Heavy the Crown?
What's up, dog? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I was just scrolling through the YouTubes and saw that you literally made a show about roasting Zach, and fucking I hate Zach, so I was like, this is a good show to be on.
All right. Share us your experience with Zach.
I mean, I don't know the guy personally, right? But I've been on that fucking, it was like a black Republican show or some crazy shit. Some show he's on all the time, which is a black dude that hosts it. Fucking, he's on there.
Chaotic Crew.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
Fucking, this guy's always on there making predictions and shit, and Gematria is bullshit. You know what I mean? And every time I call him out, he runs away. Just fucking jumps off the screen.
What's your argument on how it's bullshit? 'Cause I like to hear other people's versions on how they debunk the Gematria.
But like, mainly like the way he goes about it is just fucking reaching for straws like to the next level. But in its like essence and origin, right? If you're really gonna try to follow Gematria, you got to go by the Hebrew understanding of the Aleph Bet, bro, with the Hebrew letters, and convert that numerically. You can't just like start converting fucking Greek and doing reverse fucking calculations, and then they're like, oh, this is an ordinal reverse fucking English translation. Like, so like basically they fucking start with their prediction, right? And then they sit there and play with math until they find numbers that work. And it doesn't matter how it works, as long as it works, they're happy. And it proves it to them. You know what I mean? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's the problem.
And my avatar is apparently one of the proofs of Zach's pure. He's like, it's the pure cipher. But if you read the paragraph, you probably can't see it because it's small. It's in Manly
Yeah.
P. Hall's book. It says Pythagorean divination, and it's very speculative and absurd, according to Manly P. Hall. He doesn't even call it English gematria. He doesn't even call it gematria. He doesn't even call it numerology or cipher. He calls it divination, and he pretty much said it's stupid.
Yeah, like there is secret fucking codings that like world events are coded in, right? So that the elites could fucking like understand what is being concealed, like the messages they're putting out there with the events. But they use one uniform fucking system. It's not like Zach's sitting here trying to fucking combine every numerical system together to create an idea.
And I'm sure that if they are using even in English, the other problem with the gematria that they're doing, and this is to me is a big deal, is that English is very profoundly punctuation based. It's a very punctuation based language. Hebrew is not. Greek is not. Maybe their modern counterparts are, but where they came from, there's no punctuation. They have commas, semicolons, colons, apostrophes. They didn't have any of that back then, and it's relatively a new thing within language. And without that, I mean, then what's English? Because like you have your, like yo apostrophe re, which is actually you are. So like if you are going to do like a or there, they THEY apostrophe re, if he had decode and it had those words in there, technically the apostrophe shorten certain things, right? Like certain words, but technically it's they are or you are. So you would have to, so which one is it? Is it you are or is it you're like with the apostrophe? But technically that's what that is you are. So like that to me is a big deal. So when you have certain phrases in your decoding, and then you have commas and periods and apostrophes and stuff, why are you leaving that out? Because that is literally part of the language. Like that I'm sure if they were coding something, why would they just leave out their punctuation? They would put that in there because if anything, it would probably make it a lot harder to figure out.
Well, I mean, at the same time, English is a magical language that was created by fucking magicians. Mainly fucking Sir Francis Bacon, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the problem is like when you do gematria on English words, right? What meaning are you giving the word? You have like, all right, you got words like, for example, they mean two different things, right? You can prey on someone or you can pray for someone, right? They
Right.
sound
Right.
these ones are spelled different, but there's other words that are spelled the same. Like
Yep.
bat and bat. Like you have baseball bat and then you have the animal, the bat. Right.
Yep. Live like live or live.
Yeah. It's a magical language. You spell evil backwards, you get live. Um it's like they made the language to play games with it in the beginning. That was the point. They wanted to be able to say something like double speak. That's what they wanted to be able to do.
Well,
Better.
think about what English is made up of too. It's made up of Germanic. It's made up of Celtic. It's made up of Druid. It's made up of Latin. It's made up of Nordic. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's mostly Latin. You know what I mean? For the most part, it's Latin.
right? Yeah, because Rome used to be part of England. Then Rome fell and became medieval Holy Roman kingdoms and all that. And then you get like other Germanic tribes coming in and invading, and then you got Celtic and Druid tribes there, and then they're all fighting and fucking each other, and mating, and then those cultures blending together, and then you get the Vikings coming in and invading, and and that's really like eventually like the whole all these languages is blended in together, and then they like, oh well, a lot of the Latin was within all those languages because Rome was everywhere, and then Rome broke up, and then all these little kingdoms have all been separated, and then they've all been fighting each other for hundreds and hundreds of years.
So, what you had back in the day, like just like you have America now, right? Rome was America on a like on a more grandiose scale, right?
Oh yeah,
So the way that everyone speaks their language and English, that's kind of the way that Latin was. Everyone spoke their language, but they also had to learn Latin if they wanted to do business or read books for the most part.
And it probably was like broken Latin too, just like there's a lot of broken English languages, kind of like Jamaican. I forgot what they call it, but it's like a broken English variant.
It's called
Haitian,
patois.
yeah, patois, yeah, and yeah, so yeah, there's broken Spanish and French too, and those are romantic languages as well. They're Latin based as well, and
If
that
you look at like the Haitian language, Creole, right? It's like a
yeah,
combination of Spanish and French and something else.
yep.
Yeah.
I think the slave, because these were slave colonies, right, in the South American Caribbean areas, and the slaves probably just made up their own. Like they were forced to learn their language, but then they kind of broke it down more to probably speak to each other in code. Like because they're like probably like wagwine in Jamaican is like, hey, how's it going? Or
Man, you butchered that, bro.
I did.
Yeah.
Uh, how do you normally say it?
It's wagwan.
Oh, wagwan.
Wagwan.
How do you know that?
Oh, bro, I know a lot of shit.
So so you friends with some Jamaicans?
I've lived a lot, bro. I lived a lot of lives.
All right, hell yeah, man. I dated a girl from Jamaica, so she kind of taught me some stuff. Bati boy, boomba
Fucking
la
bomba
clap.
clot, skunt.
Mm-hmm. Mainly the bad ones I remember.
Yeah, bro, that's all you remember.
Zachary K. Hubbard is a Bati boy.
Bati boy.
Yeah, yeah. Don't call a Jamaican man a Bati boy. It might not be good. It might not be a good day for you.
Zachary's a blood clot, man.
Yep. That's. I think that's what they used to do. They took that language, broke it into something else, so the slaves can communicate with each other, and the people that own them, the masters or whatever, they couldn't understand what they were saying, which is actually pretty smart if you think about it. That's a pretty smart way to communicate.
I mean, you got the same thing in like America with English, with Ebonics.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, Ebonics evolved out of trying to conceal the speech from the like prison guards and shit. You know.
Yeah. Like yeah. I mean, I've actually been to jail before, and they'll do. One means A, two means B. Like the inmates, they do that. I've seen them do that, and
Yeah.
type it on the little kiosks to like to the girls in the pods where all the girls are. They'll type in one, and that meant A.
Yeah,
Like the
there's all
flirt with
kinds
them.
of ciphers, bro. You know,
Yeah, but what we're
cryptography's always been around.
yeah, cryptography, exactly. Yes, that's what I've been trying to get at for a long time. This is yeah, they're doing. And because you're not calling it cryptography, you're calling it gematria, and in English, you just now have completely limited your research into one stationary thing, and it's not even what that is. So you're never going to figure it really out fully.
So the
What?
thing is, right, about the gematria, where they kind of intersect, like yeah, they do intersect at the crossroads of cryptography, right? But it's actually a lot more deeper than that. So it's more along the lines of the origin of it is in the Hebrew, right? The
Yep.
origin of it is in the original Hebrew and the Kabbalah. So the really only people who are able to do gematria, right, at this point in the game, like biblical gematria and shit, this is going to be Kabbalistic Jews, right? And they're spreading messages, you know, in their attempts to control the world and take over everything. And it's also in the Bible. So, like, a lot of people ask themselves, like, how do the Jews have the first book of the Bible and then reject the second book of the Bible, right? or at half, whatever you want to call it, because there's many books in the Bible.
Right.
But the reality is that they're not reading, like, this is why they have the Torah, right? They have the books of Moses and all that, but they still don't follow Jesus. Where you got Christians that read the books of Moses, they follow Jesus. The Jews are not reading the Torah at face value. They're pulling Zach on the Torah. And that's how everything got so fucked up, right? So when you take the Torah at geometrical value, it unfolds their plot of world domination that they concealed in the book themselves when they wrote it. And, you know, things are written as historical past events. I don't know which ones are which, but there's events that are going to be future events. They're not prophetic, they're plans that was handed down generationally by the Jews and concealed in Gematria. You know what I mean? It's a world takeover plan written as a religion or encrypted into a religion.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. There's a lot of religions, especially even Hindu, because Hindu's the oldest known religion as of today. They're older than the Hebrews, and they have a very accurate calendar as well. And in their Sanskrit, they do have a numerology cryptography system going on within that too. So, and I'm sure that the Chinese, I'm sure they have something similar. Um, and that's the thing, is that you're just limiting it to not only one language. You're calling it something that's actually not what it's called, and then you're just doing headlines and sports, stupid sports trash. And oh man, I don't know. Have you ever listened to his sports picks? I mean, it makes you want to bash your head against the wall. It's just like,
So, so at the end of the day, bro, I think part of what Zach does is disinformation.
mhm.
I think he's a paid government operative or some type of fucking operative for some type of platform of, you know what I mean, group. But
Agreed.
I also think he puts stuff out there that's just complete fucking and utter nonsense, right? So that like rational people will see it and be like, oh, fuck it, I'm not even going to waste my time with this guy. So anybody actually following him, if they could believe that, they'll believe anything else he'll say, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Anything like slandering people or doxing them, or what, like today he threatened CT. He literally said they need to go on wood chippers, and it's just like, dude, what is this shit? Like,
He's just retarded, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, that's not a good look. And I mean, I've already made it a mission to take him out and destroy his channel, and because I feel kind of responsible, because I used to be a fan of his, right? And I helped fund the guy. Like, I gave that guy money, not a whole lot of money, but I helped him. And so,
So,
in my opinion, I'm kind of responsible for him doing what he's doing. So
look,
I'm like,
I don't think you're responsible, but it is easy to get tricked into Gematria because until you completely understand it, it does seem like it has something to it. And then there's all these spiritual aspects to it where it gets really deep in occulted knowledge, right?
yep,
You know what I'm saying? Then you got to go into the occult knowledge in order to understand the game that's being played against you. And then you need to really get deep into the occult knowledge to understand the game that's being played with the occultists by the occultists. You know what I mean? This whole shit is a fucking game, right? At the end of the day, the real magic and sorcery, right? This is all just in the manipulation of the perception of people. You know what I mean?
yep. Keep going. Go on.
Like, that's what it's all about. It's all about the manipulation of the perception of others. People act in a certain way when they have a certain perception. So if you could control the perception, you could control the person, right? They want to control the masses. So they have to control our perception as the masses, and they control us because our behavior is predictable. You know what I mean? It's almost rudimentary at this point. So, like, they put in X amount of input, they know they get this amount of output. It's scientific at this point. You know what I mean? It's mathematical. Now, that's what it's all about. All right?
You know
It
about the
doesn't.
Skinner box? Have you ever heard of that? The Skinner box?
The name is familiar, but I can't put it together with an idea.
The original way the experiment was you put a mouse in one room and it has food and water in it, and then in the other side of it there's nothing. And you get that mouse to kind of get into a desperate situation, and then you let it back into where the food is, and then eventually it becomes coherently a lot more dependable. Not even more dependable than like a dog or a cat, like a pet. It falls and then you give it like a routine, like at 3 o'clock, it knows right away. It's just like if you put people in a jail. Everyone's already lining up right at the time where the lunch is supposed to be coming in. Everyone's ready. It's that massive scale of that operation where we're all in that box, and then all they got to do is put us in a desperate situation, and then we're all going to run to the door to the other side where we think the safe hub is, the food and the water, and then we're going to flock to it. Oh yeah, get the quaxine. We'll be protected from the CV-19.
So, you want to know what I think is going on?
Mm-hmm.
It ties all this shit together. Like you were saying, bro, you look at ancient India, you look at the ancient Middle East, you look at ancient China, you look at these ancient Aztec cities and different things. All right, what we know is that the fucking gods, whatever the gods are, right, lowercase g gods, right, these mighty beings, which is what the word means, these mighty beings came down from the heavens, right? They came down from the sky. We don't know what the fuck they are, right? But they took this motherfucking planet over for a while, to be honest. And now you gotta wonder, where the fuck did they go? Okay? Because they're not just outright, revealing themselves as these mighty beings. So you have to wonder, and it comes to a point where you understand, if you go through enough of the occult mysteries in world history, the non-fabricated true version of history, that you have to literally, like, you have to fucking excavate it with your mind out of books, like as an artifact. You know what I mean? But if you put all this shit together, what you're gonna land on is that essentially these motherfuckers are still here, right? Living somewhere hidden, probably inside the earth, right? And they've been running the show from fucking behind the scenes the whole time. You know what I mean? This is the Wizard of Oz. This is the man behind the fucking curtain, right? It's not a man, it's a group. It's a group of advanced beings that have been manipulating and shaping our society for fucking thousands of years. For what purpose? I don't really fucking know. But, you know what I mean? It could be that they're siphoning off all of our resources, and that's why everyone works every day and everyone's still fucking basically poor, unless you're the elite. So, what is the elite? Who do they serve, right? These are the bloodline descendants of these mighty beings that fell and copulated with humanity. The Bible writes about them, and it's been taken out piece by piece and hidden and cloaked, over time. But you could find that story if you excavate it. It wouldn't be harder than finding the Book of Enoch, which was canon before they removed it.
Yeah,
You
the Nephilim.
understand? Yeah, they
Yeah.
removed it because you understand what the fuck is going on this earth when you read that book and you put the pieces together. That's why they got rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've read it. I have it somewhere in my phone. Downloaded that one and the Book of Gilgamesh, and the other Noah book. I can't think of it, but
So Gilgamesh isn't Noah, but it's like the Epic of Gilgamesh does also, it does very much so sound like the story of fucking a bunch of biblical stories actually combined. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it reminds me of the Odyssey as well.
Yeah,
Another
it's
epic book.
so. I mean, you got the Jews, right? They was in captivity under King Cyrus in the libraries of Babylon, and they didn't have any scrolls or texts or anything. They didn't have a Bible in the form of a book in any sense. Is they had oral tradition that they handed down. Um, that was basically written into scrolls in the libraries of Babylon, and it just so happens that like all the historical stories of Babylon made it into the Bible under different names. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It was written in probably hieroglyphs and cuneiform at that time because it's not like they had paper and pen and a printing press. So, um, and then whatever they didn't have written down or on stone, yeah, oral traditions, like a lot of things. Which, if you just understand human communication, 85% of our communication is already nonverbal, and 15% is verbal, and like you only grasp 20% of what someone's speaking to you, and like your mind can kind of twist what is said to you into something a little bit like a different variation. Might not be too different, but just different enough. And just imagine like each person handed down an oral saying over time, like from the original one to 100 years in those generations in between, that oral saying is going to be completely different. That's just because that's just our way our brains work, and that's the way our communication works.
Yeah, let me try to get a better mic. Hold on. My audio quality is fucked.
You sound fine to me, but yeah, I don't know if you ever seen that movie Prometheus. That movie, I think it's the prequel to the Alien movie. Um, they go to some planet where they think the origin of man, because that's what Prometheus is, right? Or the epic tale of that. And there's like these giant human looking people, and you find out that they cloned us or something from their DNA, but there's something wrong with us, so they try to kill us. We're like more like a virus, and they sent us to Earth, and then there some other thing attacked their planet, which is like the precursor to Alien, right? And they ended up in war with that, and they kind of forgot about us. And then we came to that planet in that movie. We woke up I guess you can call them the Nephilim. Woke up these gods that created mankind, and they did not want us around. They were like, oh fuck, they've multiplied. They're in space travel now. Like, yo, shit, we gotta get rid of this. And saw us as a virus. And all right, I don't know. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on with his uh, his mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You're good.
Is
Have
that
you ever
better?
seen that movie, the Prometheus? Kind of
Did
like
that
what
work?
you said. Yeah. Can
No,
you
it's
not hear
still
me?
fucked up.
Oh shit, you can't hear me. Yeah. We can hear you. You're good.
You can hear me good.
Yes.
All right. So I mean, I could try to take this all home to like wrap it up, give you a full perspective on it. You got you got all these civilizations, right? They started worshiping these advanced beings that came down, right? They modified us and animals. They, you know what I mean? The Bible says they like corrupted man and beast, right? They laid with women.
and they defiled themselves with beasts. So they didn't create us, but they fucking created another branch that we call the Nephilim. This is the demigods of the ancient mythologies. Like, this is like the Achilleses and the Herculeses, right? These weren't fully, right, gods, right? The ones that come from the sky. These are half man, half gods, right? These are hybrids. Now, these gods was worshipped all over the world, right? And at that point in time, you'll see that society was at like this super heightened advancement where, yeah, it looked primitive, right? But it was complexity. So when you can take something and make complexity simple, that is the highest level of sophistication. Like, you can't get any more sophisticated than a Sistine Chapel, you know what I mean? This is super advanced technology that we still don't even understand based on harmonics and resonance and frequency. You know what I mean? Our scientists are just starting to figure this shit out, barely. So the gods go away. We don't know why, but you can assume that if the Bible talks about them being here and it explains that the Almighty God, right, the creator of all of this, the creator of them, right, basically wipes them out for the most part, right, that would make sense. Now, you go down the line, right, you have religions that spring out of the original problems that happened, right? You have religions that go against the old religions and say that that was actually the problem, you know, but then they don't actually get it right. So then we continue, and it gets to the point where you have Jesus Christ on the scene, brings the truth, breaking it down for people, but in a way where they didn't kill him immediately. He was putting everything out in mystery. And then you start to get a better understanding that, like, there's nothing in this earth that is God, right? Because these people were misled. They were worshiping these beings from the sky as the God creator of them, and they never created us. We was tricked. They was tricked. Now, these beings, whatever's left of them, goes underground somewhere, right? Hiding in the earth, and they're very limited in numbers. They are powerful and intelligent, but limited in numbers, and we're pretty much, you know, we breed fast. We populate fast. So that's the problem they've been having with us and controlling us. And the way they sought to do this was through their knowledge. So what they did was they hid the knowledge that they had originally given mankind that corrupted us in the first place. You see, it wasn't a fucking apple. It was the technology. The tree of technology that they provided, and the information they gave us that we were never supposed to have in the first place. That's what corrupted mankind, right? But when you look at the hiding of the information, this is what the occult is. These beings created the system that is what our system has been placed upon. So our system is not actually a real working system. It is the matrix, right? That sits on top of the reality that these things constructed around us, and they control the world without even doing anything on the surface. To what extent, I don't really know, but if I had to guess, they want us to serve them, right, as God, right? And they have to get people to believe that they are God. So then they had to systematically, and I mean stretched over the course of thousands of years, they're not conditioning one human, like you said, with the Pavlovian, you know, with one rat. They're conditioning the DNA of humans, right? They're trying to do this on such a long, drawn-out, wide scale that it actually encodes into the DNA. This is like, have you noticed how people are becoming more and more submissive and like NPCs as time goes on? And families that are NPCs will usually breed NPC children that are even more NPCs than them. Now, this is also due to biological modification that's being done secretly through the food and the medicine. I mean, this isn't being done just like by simple humans, so you got to understand the level that it's happening on. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother level. But they're almost at completion. That's what you need to know. You know, they've almost got the world where they want it. The devil, right? The devil, if we're not going to name Satan specifically as a being, if we're going to say the devil is those who deviled in the creation that existed. And that would be these beings from the sky. They're referred to as the sons of God. They're referred to as fallen angels, whatever the fuck you want to call them, right? Aliens, it don't matter to me. These are just words. It's all the same fucking concept. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, baby. All these religions, everything. It's all about fucking the worship of fucking angels, which is aliens, which is the lowercase gods. And Jesus Christ straight up tried to break it out for everybody that, yo, there's only one God. But they didn't get it. They killed him. You know what I mean?
Similar story to Socrates too, by the way, with because that's what Socrates was doing, right? He would go around and kind of speak in a parable and question everything, question the republic, question government, question the gods.
Yeah, because like, yo, if I wanted to say this shit I said right now to a lot of people back in the day, I'd have to go out in the street, right, and say it. Now, I could say it, and if I spent enough time saying it, somebody would hear me saying it that didn't like it. And then, you know, enough time goes by and someone comes up behind you and just stabs you in the back. That's how you get banned in real life. You know what I mean? So they had to make sure they didn't get banned. They couldn't say the words. You know what I mean? It's like it's like how you can't talk on YouTube. These motherfuckers couldn't just speak the outright truth in public. They would be banned in real life. Or shadow banned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like we have to speak in a little bit of code, like CV19, where we gotta say
Yeah.
the thing that happened in New York in 2001, or I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise, your video would get deleted, or you lose a
And
channel.
then it becomes a secret language that only you understand. It becomes its own cryptography, you see? And
Exactly.
that's because you're operating under the nose of the enemy. And that's why it all exists in the first place. Right?
But
it's full circle.
Eventually, they know what you're doing, and eventually they always figure it out. And they'll either turn you into a martyr or into something worse, like that, like certain celebrities, like I think with Jim Carrey, right? I think Jim Carrey at one point wanted to he was exposing it, and like, oh well, you're not going to do movies anymore. You're not going to do
Why do
any
you
of this.
Why do you think Pythagorean students had to take a vow of silence for many years before they could even become part of the school? You know what I mean?
Well, I can go into the secrecy of it, and then I can just go into it in a way where I can see how a lot of this type of knowledge stuff or this esoteric stuff can be used dangerously, because you get people like Zach who get a hold of it and use it to bastardize it. So,
but here's the thing. Zach's responsible for everything he does, and he doesn't realize that. So, like, everyone that he deceives using the Gematria, he's responsible for that. You know, if he alters the course of some guy's life with his bullshit, he's responsible for that. You get what I'm saying?
Well, there's, what's his face? I can't remember his name. Outlaw X, who deleted himself because of Zach's picks.
This is why it's important, right, to be correct in your information and to constantly audit your information that you're dealing with, and then correct yourself publicly wherever you were speaking. Otherwise, you could mislead people. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Or it's just like anything. Like if you just go to work, like I do carpentry and construction work, so you put down a form, some forms, or some to build up a foundation, and you didn't measure one side of the form right, and
You're out of
you,
square, bro.
huh?
You're out of square.
Right? Yeah, you're not going to get leveled, and then you got to stop the concrete, or the guy, hey, like stop, like this isn't leveled. I mismeasured. Like if you don't say nothing, the whole you got how much work you're gonna have to do to fix that, and then you're gonna have people pissed off at you, like you dumb motherfucker, like why did you knew that, why didn't you say something?
I know,
So
I do construction, so I get it.
yeah, if you fuck up a form and then you pour that concrete, I mean, oh my god, it's such a get the rhubarb out. Oh my
We had
god,
a guy who was fucking vibrating the form, right? Like, with the rod, he stuck the rod in there, he's vibrating the form, but he's retarded, so he's vibrating literally the form off the fucking side of the wall, right? And so we had to stop him because we were about to lose the whole pour. You know what I mean? The whole form was going to come down.
holy fuck, are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah, no, he was about to vibrate the plywood off the fucking, like, he was tearing the form down with the fucking vibrator on accident. You know what I'm saying? Well, we just poured it.
Yeah, you don't want to do.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I've seen that. I
He
know
stuck it
exactly.
in all the way to the bottom, and he was coming out the bottom of the form, bro, with the fucking vibrator, bro. He's retarded.
Yeah, and then oh my god, and then if the stripping you would have to do after that too. Oh
It would
fuck
have been a
that.
disaster, bro. And this was new construction, so like, we could have sat there and watched him fuck the whole thing up and laughed at him, but we had to stop it and say something so that we could fix the problem before we had a disaster.
Right, and that's exactly what Zach's doing. He's creating a disaster, and then you get these people saying, "Hey, no, 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 you're doing it wrong, and you need to fix it because you're kind of like the foreman, like you're leading a lot of people, but you're leading them to putting the vibrator on the edge of the form, and then you're gonna fuck up all the stripping and everything, and it's gonna become a disaster, and everyone's gonna be fucking pissed."
The problem is that people don't believe like in gematria because there's nothing to it. They believe in it because there is a lot of shit to it, right? There's like, it does have meaning and purpose, but the way that it's being used is the wrong way, and it's been lost in communication. Like, they lost the meaning of it. So like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, there is a way to decode words, but it's not the way that it's being done. It's not supposed to be used like that, and it's being used to deceive people because they don't actually understand it in the first place. So like, you can't teach somebody something that you don't understand. You know what I mean? If you have the surface level understanding that was given to you to keep you dumb and deceived, drive you crazy, right? That's what you got. And so that's what's happening with a lot of people with gematria. It'll drive them nuts, and it just basically takes you out the game. Like, you're not able to figure out anything anymore because you're all confused. You know what I mean? You've learned all this stuff that is it exists, right? But it exists to warp your perception. You know what I mean? It's like if you learned, all of the aspects of a false reality, you wouldn't understand reality. If you operated in reality based on the things you learned in a false reality, right? You're not going to have a good time. That's what I'm trying to say. They're altering the perception to control the people. They want you to understand the gematria. For those who would understand it. They want to fuck with your mind. That's why it's there in the first place. It's a mind fuck. It's a Jedi mind trick, bro.
I like that.
That's what it is. And I mean, at the end of the day, the original gematria was just basically cryptography. But they don't want you to figure that out, so now they added a bunch of other systems. They're like, yeah, ordinal, reversal. You know what I mean? They don't want you to just go and look at the original Hebrew Kabbalistic Gematria and then decode the Bible. They don't want that. Because then you'll know what's going on. See, they didn't think people were ever going to figure out that they even had Gematria. So then they had to, like, you know, like every other truth in the world, how do you hide the truth? You bury it with a bunch of false truth. Now, when people look at it, they don't know if this is the Gematria, that's the Gematria, this is the Gematria. Then you got Zach's combining all of them to just suit his own personal gain. You know?
Yep. Yeah. That's what Cuts and I have been saying for a little over 2 years now. We found a lot of interesting shit over the years. It's like we've lost a few channels along the way because we call them the quacks or the frauds. They'll come over and report us and get our channels pulled, and then some of the information ends up getting lost. They're just like those people who burn down like the city of Alexandria, or they burn down like the Babylon and destroy that information to hide it. I mean, they're literally doing the work for the people that you're talking about, and they don't even know it. And that's the thing. Like, they're destroying. Like, we're presenting information. We found some of the names of the ciphers that he's actually doing, and they're not, like what you said, they're not ordinal and reverse and reduction and all that. They're one of them's called the Agrippa cipher, and then the other one is called. It starts with a T. I can't think of the name of it. It's like trichographic or something like that. Trichographical order, and you can kind of manipulate several different ciphers with that type of process. And then adding the, like, he always says, all right, numerology, the one with the numerology in it, and the reduction ones. That's just divination. So, like, yeah, I mean, hey, we found what you guys are saying, but it's not what you are explaining. You're not defining it correctly. You might as well say, what, pancakes don't have calories. That beer would make you lose weight. I mean, you might as well just say that shit. Like, to me, you're saying things that are completely false and confusing people and misleading them into their own, like you're saying, into a whole net web of a confused mind, and into depression, anxiety, into neglecting your family and friends. I mean, there's a few people in his community. We call him Fat King Stitchard. He was with his family for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and he even went on Zach's live and was saying, yeah, like, I told all of my family to go fuck themselves and that they're retarded and they don't understand the code. And I'm just like, dude, like, what is Zach doing? And he's just like, Zach's just letting it happen. He's just letting him be like, yeah, your family's stupid. It's just like, what the fuck, man? That's fucked up.
So it's like, there's a lot of layers to this one, right? The number one thing to unpack it is, what is the goal, right? What is the goal of the manipulation of the perception of Zach's audience? Like, what is the end goal, right? Because we know that the perception's being manipulated. It's being warped and altered. To what extent? For what reason? That's when it'll really start to unpack. When you figure out why. That's one of the most important words you have. Okay, this happened, but why? You know what I mean? It's like the Matrix.
Yeah. He created a whole paradigm of. I mean, it's ran like a cult. It really is ran kind of like a cult, and he the end game, at least with Zach, is I'm going to keep going until I can't make any more shekels, until the last shekel I can get. And then once that last shekel's done, there's no Patreons left, or his Patreon gets booted or whatever. That's when he's just gonna end it. He probably won't even announce like I'm done, I'm retired, blah blah blah. He'll probably just freaking cancel and just leave everybody in the dark. Like, hey, where does Zach go? Like, I thought he was our guy. I thought he was,
Yo, look. I know what the guy does, and I've called him out on that guy's show, the other guy's show. You said his name earlier.
Yeah.
Yep. On that show, I called out Zach, right? A bunch of times he runs away. Because he mostly deals with people that don't actually have a high level understanding. So they don't have the ammunition to fight him. And he don't have the ammunition to go against the truth about what he's doing. But basically, he comes up with what he thinks is going to happen first. Right? See, this is how the math works. This is why it's good with math. Right? This is why it's cool with math. It's because you can start with what you originally want to fucking land on, right? And then all you have to do is the reverse math to get the pieces that create it, right? And then you take those pieces and you look for events that fit them. And then when you find an event in the fucking, it doesn't matter where you find it, right? It could be a news story, a killing, a sports game. It doesn't fucking matter. If you find an event that meets all of the mathematical, you know what I'm saying, prerequisites, and this could probably be done at this point with fucking AI. Like, I could write a bot to do this. Then you basically have, like, a Gematria oracle, right? That could take any fucking perception. Like, you could say, I believe, I want people to freak out. I'm gonna say aliens are coming back next week. So you make the fucking Gematria for the aliens coming back next week, and then you break all the parts down, and then you find fucking world events with a bot that match these Gematrias. And now, if you got some real shitty, fucking software, or you're doing it yourself and you're lazy, you might have to then start using any fucking cipher possible to, like, really reach its straws to put out your bullshit. And that's what Zach's doing. He's like the lowest form of Gematria snake oil salesman. But at the same time, what is the purpose of the narrative he's spinning, right? Because it's not his narrative. Whose narrative is it? Who is it exactly that is supporting Zach, right? And providing him with the script, so to speak, right? That's another thing to dig into.
Yeah, we've dug into that, and we do think that the Sweet Lady, I don't know if you know this, but Sweet Lady's foster mother used to be an English teacher where apparently Zach taught. I can't prove that Zach was a teacher. I can prove that he was a certified nursing assistant. But she got fired, the foster mom, Adriana Gallagher, and she ended up working with Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft to develop AI, like how we move our mouth with English, like the mouth. And I'm like, how do you go from like an English teacher to developing AI software for English speaking with how we use our lips and our tongue and our face and stuff. And and now I believe she sells chat bots or something like that. And so like you got the Sweet Lady who's in big pharma and giving out the vaccines. She also did a big for her doctorate in pharmacology, a big methylization of vaccines, which is testing mRNA. Back in 2019, it was she literally, I believe the presentation came out literally a month before they declared no, a year. It was March of 2019. It was like almost a year to the day before they declared COVID, right, as a pandemic. And I was just like, what in the who in the fuck are these motherfuckers? Who are these people? Like this, like you pay, like if you even donate even $5 to Zach, you help pay for that pharmacology degree. And then her mom's in big tech, her foster mom, and then Cuts found Myanmar or Burma has like these big camps, and they're like scamming camps, and they force the people to, like, they call around the world and they try to scam you and shit, and take, like, steal your identity, and they're literally like enslaved in those camps. They're like beaten or killed or raped, or and like there's been a couple documentaries on it just recently that are popping up, and this is where the sweet lady's from Miramar, and like, what is she really? Is she the brains behind the operation? Is she the one that's manipulating Zach to do all this, and to scam people, and to shill and grift out of the truth movement, and to mislead people down the wrong way to figure out the system that they live in? Like, is she part of this? Like,
What I know is that, like, the shilliest. Can you hear me?
yeah, you're good.
What I know is that, like, the shilliest people on the internet that are usually mad full of shit, but they want to portray themselves as, like, knowledgeable. They'll have, like, a whole fucking library visibly behind them, like, on camera. I don't know what it is, but, like, it's like, yeah, these are people that collect books but don't read them. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I've always said that too. That's like the Truth Fires thing. You ever watch Truth Fires?
no.
Oh, he's an old school truther. He just does really simple videos, and he just makes fun of, like, the CNN, Fox News talking heads. It's really funny, and then he'll say, "Oh, look, Don Lemon, look at his bookshelf. Isn't he the smarty arty guy?" And he's like, "Remember, everyone, they want you to think that they're smart, but really they're a bunch of dumb motherfuckers who don't fucking read. They don't even read the books."
Yeah, they just, like, collect them. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, where are you? Yeah, because Zach has a ton of books right behind him, and it's like, if you notice that there's one shelf that's been cleaned out of books too, within the last few weeks. If you go back about like 2 months on a video, his whole bookshelf's full, but now he has like a whole shelf that's empty.
You gotta call people out and make them look stupid. You know, I'll do funny shit. Like, I'll tell Zach, like, hey, name 5 books in your fucking shelf, bro. And, like, he can't. Like, I'll tell him to go get them if he can name them, and he won't. It's just like, you gotta press the issue, you know?
Dude, that's pretty funny.
You gotta press the issue in life, man. Cause,
Yeah,
like, I'm a guy who reads, right? I could name you almost every book in my library. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I used to have one. Long story with that. Unfortunately,
If you read a fucking book every day, bro, you start to love that shit. You know, like, in your mind, if that's your shit, you got to have at least 5 in 100,000 books you got in that library, Zach. I'm just saying.
right. I'm actually about to read my 11th grade thesis book. I did a big thesis. Is the rise and fall of the Third Reich. It's like 1,000 pages. Like, everyone was doing Harry Potter and doing their book report, and I'm like, no, 'cause I always had a feeling that there was like some kind of conspiracy with the World War II and Hitler and all that, how he died, and this book actually does hint that too. Like, I don't know if he might escape through a bunker and faked his death. Like, it says it in this book, so. I did a whole report on it while everyone else was doing Harry Potter, and my parents just moved, so they found this book in the storage. So it's been gathering dust for like 15 years. So I'm like, no, I'm going to read this again now that I'm all grown up, and maybe I'm going to understand a lot more now than I did back in 11th grade.
That page you have on the screen, that's from a Manly P. Hall book?
Yeah, the Secret Teachings, page 186 on the original version.
I actually owned the original version. It was blue. No, my version was it was dark black.
Right, yeah.
I think it was the
There's
16th edition, right?
yeah, there's a lot of editions.
Mine had the full it was the full size, like the coffee table edition, bro. It had the fucking it had the full size page overlays, like with the Sir Francis Bacon with the William Shakespeare overlay page, and it had the full fold out pages of like all the Egyptian shit. But
Oh,
the
oh,
the original books are way different than anything that exists right now.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
There's a fucking like there's a curse in the beginning of the book. Like the book curses you, bro.
I completely believe it. There's another thing that calls Zach out because he always, one of his rhetorics is the Book of Formation. It states letters, numbers, and words. And it's funny because Sefer Yetzirah is also in Manly P. Hall's Secret Teachings book, and he has the original English version in the book, right? And it actually says
That's
letters,
that's
numbers.
Kabbalah.
Right. It
That's
says
what I was saying.
letters, numbers, and sounds. It's not words. The original is not words. It's sounds, and which actually makes more sense because um, before Hebrew or Mandarin or even Hindu, there was cuneiform and what do the Egyptians have? Hieroglyphics. They didn't have words, so it would have been more sounds, and that's where this comes from. If you look at the Paleo Hebrew language, like the written out part, it looks
Yeah.
almost identical to the Egyptian hieroglyphics, and then he evolved into what we see as Hebrew now.
You're talking about Proto-Hebrew.
Oh yeah, Proto. I'm
So
sorry, I said Paleo.
Paleo-Hebrew actually is exactly the same as Viking ruins, which is interesting because when you look at the Vikings, right, it gets really interesting. You look at not the Vikings, you look at the Jews, right, that we currently know as the Jews, and their language that they speak is Yiddish, right? Now,
Yep.
Yiddish is a combination of Germanic and Hebrew. So, right, here's where it gets nutty. You've got merchant merchant races of people who are seafaring, who were purportedly tattooed with serpents on their arms, right? They were the Phoenicians, they were the Vikings, they were they were all of these people. This is where we have Ashkenazi, right? So they were the Nazis. And then what they did was they persecuted their enemy, and then they became the Jews. You know what I mean? They become whatever they have to be. That's the nature of the serpent people, right?
Yeah, I mean that's why you call somebody like a snake. You're a snake in the grass, or because
Yeah, it's the offspring of Cain, right? So these bloodlines, they've never had an honorable lineage, so they were always lying and saying they were the good guy. You see how that works? And then what happened was, it gets really hard to track down a group of people who don't actually have their own identity. They just take others' identities and portray it, and then when it gets crazy, when they put enough dirt on it, then they assume a different identity, and they tarnish that name. And they've gone around and basically tarnished everything by infiltration and portrayal. See what I'm saying about that perception thing again?
yeah, tarnishing the worldview, tarnishing the culture, tarnishing
Yeah.
the communication within the language itself.
Yeah.
It's an
So
infiltration.
So, like, imagine if you were the Jews, right, back in the day, and Jesus comes on the scene. How do you deal with that? You infiltrate it, right? I mean, how do you deal with anything? As the serpents, they infiltrate and assume and assimilate. And through deception, they, you know what I mean, rise to the top of whatever they're in. Because they're never playing the game straight. So, you know what I mean? They don't have to directly control things. They create organizations like Freemasons, which are crypto Jews, like Jewshowitz, bro. I mean, you got it. They're all the same thing, bro.
I don't know if you're like a Star Wars fan, but just like before the original movie, The New Hope, with the back in the 70s, they had like all the Jedi, right? And then the Emperor, he was like the dark side guy, and he did some kind of spell which confused all the Jedi people. And what he did was um, he made all the clones and caused two wars on both sides, infiltrating the Jedi. And as they're fighting, then he does the Order 66, and all the clones had a chip in their head, and they all turned on the Jedi and killed them all, and infiltrated them, and then made the as we know as the Empire in the original films, and that's how he did it. He infiltrated, he manipulated, he deceived, he caused two wars on both sides. I mean, it's an impressive feat. I mean,
So, yeah, bro, look, it all mirrors reality. But essentially, right, you've got this false god in the earth, right, that essentially has a chosen people. And this false god was masquerading as the God, the creator. Now, these people know that this is not God, the creator, but they still worship this being because this being is what enabled their nation, right, their bloodline to take over the world by being the servant. You know what I mean? Because there was no people that were going to be under the rule, right, of a lowercase g god, right? They weren't going to be under the rule of this lowercase g god and allow rulership, knowing that we was created by the same God and that they were in this earth, right? Basically unauthorized access. So they had to basically erase all the history to make everyone forget. You know, make it all into myth, lore, and fairy tale. And while they were doing that, they needed somebody to actually see, they gained it from them. They needed someone to infiltrate the human family, right? So the fallen is who put them onto this in the first place. That's their gods. You know, they literally do worship the devil, right? But the devil is these ones who deviled in the original creation. I mean, you look at the earth we live in and everything it is, it's not designed to be the way that it is now. We were designed to just have free reign and live happily and not be enslaved by others. This was put on us, right? This was put on us by these beings who had knowledge. They had knowledge, but they didn't have numbers, and they didn't have, you know what I mean, the ability to do it themselves. We're too populated. They can't just take us out. We're resilient. So they needed a human, you know what I mean, a human family that they could use as their fucking emissaries and, you know, managers and fucking, this is where we get all the corporate structure and shit. It's all derivative from the structure that was laid down by these fucking, you know what I mean? You can call them whatever you want, bro. Call them a galactic corporation. You know what I mean? This is what is going on.
have you ever seen that South Park episode where I believe it's season 4? It's called Canceled, and
Yeah. The Earthlings do black?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. He goes, oh, yeah, hooker, suck my Jagon.
yeah, you suck on my gun.
Oh, he always sucked each other's Jagons.
Put your finger in my thruster. Yeah, the Earth is like a galactic reality TV show, and I just thought that was such a brilliant episode from Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I'm like, man, no, that's
And-
kind of crazy to think about.
And yo, they were space Jews, and Matt and Trey Parker are Jews. Like, they know, bro. They know what's going on. They know the deal, because when you read it, look, when you read the Bible in English, it reads one way. When you read the Bible in Hebrew, it reads another way. You know what I mean? Now, if you read that same Bible in Hebrew, and you know Gematria, it reads another way. You know what I mean? And that's what it all boils down to.
Well, yeah, yep, and Greek too, because I believe the Greeks wrote the New Testament, but still, yeah, there's another way. And then
The New Testament was written in Aramaic and Greek. It was compiled in Greek.
Yeah, so you have tons of ways to skin a cat, pretty much. I mean, you're already at 15 different ways, and you haven't even reached English yet. I mean, you've got Spanish, you've got French, you've got German, you've got Russian, you've got Turkmenistan. I mean, it's just eventually it's just going to be it's just bastardized at this point. And
Well, it's on purpose. Like I said earlier, the truth is always buried, right, in false truth. You're never going to find truth that doesn't have false truth surrounding it. It just doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to find the solution to a math equation, right, there's a numerous amount of ways to do it wrong, right? There's only one way to do it right. When you find the math equation and you've done it right, you know you've done it right. You can check your work, and that's kind of how truth works too. You can check your work. Like, shit has to connect to the other truths. If truth doesn't fit in the collection of catalog of truth, then how could it be true? You know?
yeah, I mean that's actually one of my premises of even debunking the English gematria is with math. I explained on a live stream last night with somebody. Look, you have what, maybe 1 million people who are celebrity or former celebrity, athlete and former athlete, and politician and former politician, right, on Earth. You have 365 days in a year. If Zach has about 83 words and phrases that he uses regularly, like on a normal basis. So if you do 83 times 4 ciphers, that's 332. 332 divided by 365 days is 91%. So he has a 91% at least to correlate any of the Illuminati, the Jesuits, or whatever into whatever day of the year. You'd be like, oh, yeah, celebrity death. But you have 1 million people. You only have 365 days. So the chances of a celebrity dying every day is over 100%. Every day, a celebrity is going to die, or a former athlete, or a former government person. It's inevitable. And to claim that it was a secret gematria ritual is absurd, because based off of just probability on population alone, you're going to be able to correlate that, because you have such a high percentage of those people on Earth, because you have 7-8 billion people on Earth, and only maybe 1 million of them are within that realm.
Everybody. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
No, you're good. I'm done.
I was going to say, like, everybody that gets deep into, like, knowledge and occultism or whatever, looking into symbology and shit, you're going to eventually land in fucking Egypt. You know what I mean? It's just inevitable. And when you look at what you got in Egypt, right, you have advanced civilization existing. And then if you look at the shit they were writing on the insides of the walls of these like amazing monuments they built. They're telling a story, and it's strange, you know. And then you go to like Sumeria, Babylon, you start to look at their ancient shit, and there's a story there too, and it's strange. So we see the history coming out of these areas, right? The religions, the belief systems, but then we look at the ancient civilizations that were there, and it's fucking strange. You got these like animal-headed beings, you got giant beings, you got all this shit going on. How did they build all this? Nobody really knows. The civilizations that inherited Egypt later on, thousands of years later, they carved like what I would consider like Egyptian graffiti on already existing beautiful structures that already had beautiful hieroglyphics, and they created all this extra shit on top of it, trying to be like the people who created the infrastructure around them that they didn't even have contact with. It was after some type of cataclysm. And so now, once the ancient Egyptian civilization was gone, right? Now we had some kind of cataclysm. We know that there was a point in time, if we look biblically, that the earth was like totally corrupted with these fallen beings from the sky. You could call them the gods, you could call them the angels, the aliens, whatever the fuck. They made a bunch of hybrids, right? Then you see these massive civilizations with advanced technology, and then everyone gets reset back to like the fucking Stone Age across the world. And then they're not here anymore, right? So there was a deliberate attempt to stunt the progress of them as a whole on a global scale that set them back to the fucking beginning of the plan and set us all back to the Stone Age. Something of that magnitude isn't something that could be carried out by a normal person or any of those beings. Like, they're mighty in this earth, but as far as like in the grand scope of things, they're not doing shit like resetting fucking worlds. And that's what I believe the creator actually stepped in due to whatever the fuck was going on that we still don't understand. But if I had to guess, I would say humanity was like in a total mind-controlled hive mind slave state. And that's the aim of that's where they want to get back to. And that's what they're trying to do through technology. That's what all the shit you were talking about earlier with the medical shit, that's what they're trying to get in everyone, is essentially this technological framework that they could build a hive mind queen-based slave system off of. And the queen is, you know, these beings that need, when they no longer need the infiltration and the patsies, they're going to get rid of the people who helped them all get into the position they're in. And they're going to take over, like you said, you know, the clones. The clones are humanity. And when these beings step onto the scene, like biblical prophecy prophesies, all religions, you know, the Jews have a Messiah they're waiting for. He's going to fuck the whole world up. The Muslims have a Messiah they're waiting for. He's going to fuck the whole world up. And the Christians have a Messiah they're waiting for. And he's supposed to fuck the whole world up. So something is going to come on the scene when the systems are in place and already in everybody, right? And they're going to come on the scene, they're going to masquerade as God, they're going to fuck the whole world up, and they're going to completely enslave humanity back to the state it was before the cataclysm that caused the ancient advanced civilizations to no longer exist in their own capacity. And they're going to attempt to reestablish that kingdom on the earth. And they're going to masquerade as God and claim that they're the good guy. And they're going to show all the progress they've made and say they've fixed people with this technology. But they're not going to tell people that it's there. And it's going to run. And this is the beast system. This is the Antichrist. This is the beast. The mark is simply whatever connects you to that beast. Because at the end of the day, these false gods, right? These lowercase gods, these fallen beings, they want to be like the creator. So their true goal is to sit on the heart of man, right? Which is the throne of God, the mind of mankind. They want to be connected to mankind through an artificial 5G, 6G powered Holy Spirit and not what is natural. And that's why they constantly are pulling us out of our nature, right, and pushing us into technological, mechanistic, machine-like, structures, because that's what they want us to. They want us to become part of a machine that they can use to live like gods on the earth in their ultimate paradise. That's what it's all about.
Right, yeah. The AI is definitely one of their, and they've been hinting this AI thing through video games and through movies and stuff for a long time.
There really is no AI. What you have is you have either programs that are automations, and that's one thing. The automation always does what the automation does. Now, if you have any type of artificial intelligence, there is nothing artificial about it. You know what I'm saying? What it actually is just other dimensional intelligence. That's what quantum computing is. They're tapping into a spiritual dimension and interacting with beings that are on higher or lower levels, and that's how they're essentially solving problems in split seconds. That would take years. It's because it's happening outside of the constraints of our time space. You see, the Almighty God, Creator, exists outside of time, which is a hard concept to perceive, but so do other spiritual beings. There's no time passing. They're not aging. It's just everything happens at the same time. So when we send information out of this physical reality into a spiritual reality, the quantum field, right? The quantum realm, and then it comes back solved instantly, which would have taken years in the physical, you have to understand it's been sent somewhere where time doesn't matter. There is no constraints of time space outside of the physical world. It is the physical conditions that cause time to exist. You know what I mean? But we're not just physical beings. We have a spiritual aspect to us. That's what makes this whole experience real, intense and strange and crazy, is that we knew these other beings were full shit, because every one of us has a small portion of the Almighty Creator somehow connected or part of us, right? So there's this intrinsic truth inside of all people, and they aim to strip that out of us. We was created in the image of the God Creator, not them. You know what I mean?
I've dabbled into the different dimensional things, like different anomalies of maybe beings that live in like the fifth, sixth dimension. That goes in the sacred geometry too.
It's crazy, but you, right? When I say you, right, I'm speaking to a consciousness right now. I'm not speaking body. And the consciousness is bound by currently. You create an image of God. And your body is fucking... you were created in the image of God, and your body, right, is the physicality, the interface, right, between this physical world and the consciousness that you are, right? The physical world is something that your physical body exists in and was created from, but that is not you, because it has changed over the course of your entire existence. You have always remained you. So when I call on you, right, you were not created by a fucking alien or a fallen angel, right? The blueprint for the physical body of original man was different than the blueprint of the physical body for man now. That doesn't mean that you're not created by the Almighty God. It means that his original blueprint for what you were supposed to inhabit was altered by something else. They changed his orchestra, right? So, like, the fucking sheet music is the sheet music, but the fucking people got the wrong instruments. You understand?
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
you are still you. The body dies, you exist. This has always been. Like, people think we're here to change the world. The world is here to change us, but not the physical. The physical is a condition, right, that we are in order to alter the consciousness that is not physical. It is to create perfection. This is God's design. See, his design is in such perfection that it's designed to lead to perfection. No matter what path is taken, it either leads to perfection or destruction. And so the end result is perfection. We exist in the time dilation, right? We're experiencing time. We're bound by it. So for us, it seems like shit is fucked up. Like things are broken and we're like, what the fuck is going on? The world's in shambles, right? We start to lose faith because we don't understand that we are in the process of perfection and it is not complete. It's not done yet. It's still cooking. It's baking. You know, you look at a fucking turkey that you stuck in the oven 20 minutes ago, it ain't going to look this delicious. It's going to look gross. It might even stink. Now, you leave that same turkey in there. You leave it in there because you know what happens. You know what it's going to be when it's done. And that's the human experience to me. That's what I believe it is.
I'm gonna wrap it up because I gotta get going. But yeah, I'd like to go into this more into the metaphysics of things.
Hey, bro, I seen you out here by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I figured I could throw some shit out here, bro. Maybe help you out, put a show on for the people. If you like real deep conversations, I don't have a channel myself, but there is a community that I do go to pretty often. It's called The Machine Lies. It's one of my homies. He runs a pretty good channel on like all these different philosophy and all these topics that you're interested in, but he's not on that bullshit. And like that community does nothing but call people out. Like Zach can't even go there, bro. They'll just roast him into oblivion. These are really smart motherfuckers, even above my level of understanding. So you should check them motherfuckers out, bro.
Yeah, leave a comment to their channel and I'll pin it to this video so people can go check them out. And I'm about to go work out. So I just need to go do that, and then I'll pretty much be available for the rest of the day. So if he goes live or
I just
something,
let people
I'll
know.
there.
I just let people know because, yo, at the end of the day, I've been around these YouTube streets for a long time, and there's not many very good communities or genuine people, but what I see in you, I've seen in that community, so that's the only one I really participate in. This is a rare occasion. I dropped it in the private chat, so you could do whatever you want with that, but that's my homie, and they put on a good show most of the time. A lot of good open panels. You'd have a great time hopping on there. You know what I'm saying? I shared it for you more than anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like on a personal level,
yeah.
like
We're part of the old truther community too. Before all this infiltration shit came in, and it's been hard to find the old school community.
They're like me for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like they're real deal old school truther, no bullshit, calling every fake truther out on their shit and trying to find it. So, you know what I mean?
Exposing the frauds, the grifters, the shills, the charlatans.
Oh yeah, all day. Yep. Live, you know, they come on the show, start talking their shit, bro. Zach will, you know, if Zach, I think he's come on once or twice, he just gets like roasted into oblivion. Like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I call him a Jesuit, and like within 5 minutes, they're like, "Get this Jesuit the fuck out of here, bro." But they won't kick you; they'll roast you unless you like porn bomb them or something. They won't kick you off the show.
Oh man,
yeah, bro.
That sounds
good
like
luck on your shit, bro. You know what I mean? Get your day going, get your workout going. You have a good one. You know what I'm saying?
You too, man. Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate it.
Hey, yo, you already know. God bless.
Yep. God bless. Thank you. Yeah. Shout out to hold on, I forgot his name. Shout out to Heavy the Crown. Go to the Machine Lies 9534's channel. And subscribe to them. It seems like a pretty interesting community. That was a really good conversation. Those are the types of conversations that we need. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I like going into the esoteric, into the metaphysical, and dabbling into that. I like talking about stuff like the gym or like, building something. I believe he said he was in construction or is in construction, so he knows, that's my world. And, so he's a builder. He's a man that builds and creates. And there is something with that. Is it hard work? Is it hard in your body? Yeah, man. But no, at the end of the day, it's not about what's hard on your body. It's what it's building your mind up. It's building your perception up. It's you got to fight through the flesh as that breaks down, because it's going to break down no matter what you do. You can't live forever. Nothing's immortal. And when you do things like create things, build structures, or if you even have kids and you build them like a tree house, I mean, it's the most rewarding thing. Or like, I've helped build things in the cities, and done road work, and you get a sense of pride. Hey, I helped build that road. I helped build that building that people go to every day and go to work. I help people get work. That was part of my service in this world and society. Am I going to get a bunch of praise for it? No. Am I going to get a little bit of money? Sure. But I don't look at it as like a slave job. And, is it? Sure. Are you enslaved with the taxes and all that shit? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't even like looking at it like that. I like to look at it as, hey, I have a sense of pride. I built that. I created that. I built that treehouse for, my son and his friends, and I helped build this house or this structure. And that's the part of the creation. And if you want to look at the glass half empty, oh, man, I'm a slave and I'm a tax slave and I'm cattle to the system. I guess you can look at it that way, sure. But I mean, that's the glass half empty. I'd rather look at it half full. Look, I helped build that building. Do I need to have a million people following me and paying me? Yeah, good job, pat on the back. I mean, would that be nice? Sure, yeah. I mean, but I'm not out here trying to like be the one that's like, yeah, that, because it wasn't all me. So it's a group effort. It's that's what's a part of, it's not this. Oh, I mean, I gotta get it. Hold on. I get the shower going because it takes a while for my water to get warm. Yeah, do I shower before the gym? I actually do, because one, I don't like to, especially if there's like a cute girl in there, I definitely don't want to be stinking. So I shower before the gym. I guess that might be a weird thing to some people, but some people said that's not weird. So whatever you want to take on that. But I do appreciate the heavy the crown. Really good guy, pretty smart guy. Definitely, someone that is an asset. He sees through the frauds, the quacks, the Gematrians. He sees right through that, which is cool. Definitely someone that just wants to learn, and that's just what I've always wanted for our community. When I was a podcast, I had almost 1,000 subscribers, and now I'm down to now I'm restarting again on my 4th channel in less than 2 years. And could I really make this channel grow more? I probably could. I could probably start changing the direction and change the name and really get it back up and running. And because at the end of the day, it's just looking like Zach's entire empire is just collapsing, and we're witnessing the final countdown to the last second to the bitter end, and he's struggling to keep it together. And a channel like what he just mentioned, the machine, um, that seems like a good channel, and it seems like that's a channel that's out here calling out the frauds, the fake truthers, the fake conspiracy tars, the infiltrators, and that's exactly that's the type of channel that we need out here, and once we can get that collective consciousness, once we can get at that spiritual level, and we can just understand, yeah, I mean, this is just the beginning of our journey in the universe. Um, I don't even see it just as that. I see it as, look, this is a learning experience, this whole thing, and I don't want to sit here and just go into the conspiracies all day. I want to learn how to, you know, grow coffee beans. I mean, hey, why not? I'm in this existence. Why not learn something? Or, make my own soap. I've done that. And build my own candles. Or, um, grow food. Do a greenhouse, an indoor greenhouse. Or filter water. Just like things, just to learn and experience things. That's what this existence is about. It's not about here in what's like exposing the new world order and what they're doing is in a way it's giving them clout. It's giving them the power. You're giving them that power when you're just out here. But when you come together in a community and you teach each other things, teach each other how to pour concrete, teach people how to build a form set, teach people how to exercise. You're building the consciousness up, and you're ignoring the evil part. That evil part, the evil people of this world that are, all the people that him and I were talking about, and that a lot of these truth channels talk about, right? But you don't want to talk about them. Fuck those motherfuckers. Talk about each other, build each other up, build up your communities, build up your knowledge, build up your trades, build up your money, build up your own systems, maybe even make your own cryptocurrencies, which in a way, design your own currency, design your own incentive programs, design your own. We can still do that. We're not completely bounded yet. And somebody like Zach wants you to think that you are, and you're not. And we can unite together. We can teach each other how to filter fluoride out of water instead of constantly always buying water at the store that's fluoride free and other shit, chlorine and all that. Filter it right through your freaking sink. Save some money. It's a pain in the ass. I can tell you that. I've done it. It is a lot of work. And it is costly to get a filter for it to filter out fluoride, because it's like you got to turn it into a gas and all this shit. So I mean, you can't even just boil it. You've got to do a whole osmosis process, and it's a big pain in the butt. So other than that, I enjoyed the stream. It definitely went in a direction I didn't think it was going to go. I didn't think it was going to be on here this long. I'm not going to be able to stream for probably till StreamYard resets its time, because I'm way past the time limit right now. So this is my last stream probably for a week. But I mean, I'll pump out some videos or whatever that clown the frauds, if I can muster up the time. Other than that, Cuts One, YouTube frauds. What else is in here? Keenan, if you're out there, or Chaotic Truth, or CM, all you guys have a good one.